We've got quite a lot of gardening chores to do today, so sit back and relax and enjoy watching us work hard.
I use quite a lot actually.
Oh my gosh, how much do you have to use?
75 mils and 5 liters. So first up today we're going to be doing a bit of weed killing. We've noticed we've got a lot of clover in the grass, so we're just going to go around and give that a bit of a spray. It's just difficult to always see where it all is. But it's selective, so you can spray it all over the grass. We just don't have a means to sort of spray it in bulk.
Okay, so while Sven does all the weed killing and poisoning, I'm gonna go off and do one of my jobs this morning. So we've been having some serious windy days, and I'm busy nursing a gooseberry plant in a pot, and it is being blown away. So what I'm gonna do today is just give it a bit of a wind break to help protect it. So we do actually have a permanent spot for this, but we're just not ready to transplant it just yet. So while it is in the pot, I'm just going to add 3 poles that we had from a previous trellis project, and then a little bit of twine, and temporarily protect my plant. Okay, that should hold it just temporarily. Sven actually did a fantastic job, and I actually stole this idea from him when he created a similar structure, and I'm just having a look. He did a much better job than I with our pomegranate. Okay, so next up we're going to sort out these snow peas. The trellis has collapsed due to the weight, and they honestly are coming to their end. I picked the last few fat juicy ones this morning, so I'm actually going to take these out of the bed today. So what I am going to do, instead of pulling out the roots, I'm going to just cut them off so that the roots can naturally rot within the ground, and that way refeed the soil. Forgot that we had done a pretty decent job in securing these poles, but now I can't just pull them out. I'm going to have to cut them out. Okay, it looks a little bare. But I did forget to mention that in the bed I had already planted some purple beans. They are the dwarf variety. I have struggled so far to actually grow any, but one lonely one has survived. While we're in the little veggie patch, I'm just so excited. I'm growing tomatoes for the very first time, and they look amazing. Let's just quickly take a sneak peek. Just look at the size. These ones are almost ready for me to start picking. My shallots are doing amazing. So another task on my to-do list today is to transplant my mulberry tree. In our sort of flood towards the end of last year, I just about lost it. So what I did was I potted it up and removed all the scale that I found on it. But it is actually thriving at the moment. It's got all this beautiful greenery and quite a few bits of fruit coming. So I want to get it into a much larger pot. So that's the mulberry tree currently, and that's its new big pot. So it's much bigger. I've been staring at, honestly, a brown stick for months. So this is very exciting for me. So I am going to leave the container on the patio for now. I've propped it up onto 2 bricks just so that it's not sitting on the concrete, so when the water drains it's not collecting underneath the pot. It seems to be working for the pomegranate and the gooseberry at the moment. So the mulberry tree has actually been in our greenhouse slash hothouse, and it is going to be a bit shocked having moved out into complete full sun. I'll just keep an eye on it and monitor it. It is meant to be in full sun, so I have every hope that it'll be okay. I will also be giving it some seaweed solution just for that transplant shock as well. Well, that's actually just come straight out of the pot that the mulberry is currently in is actually way too wet. So I need to just make sure I'm keeping an eye on that and not watering it every time I water everything else. Okay, so something else I have to do today is top up my potato bags. Now, if you've watched my store sprouted versus seed potato video, I suggest you do that. This, I guess, is a little sneak peek as to what's actually happening. And there's no surprise that the store-bought ones have done a lot better. They had already sprouted when I planted them. The seed potato ones have only just started sprouting, so it's taken a really long time. I've actually got 2 bags of those going, so yeah, a bit disappointed if I'm honest. I've done some reading and quite a few people say that they don't even bother with the seed potato ones, so we'll just see what kind of harvest we eventually get with the store sprouted ones. So these are the store sprouted ones. There's finally some sprouts from the certified seed potatoes. And then this bag, oh, that's new. So I don't know if you can see that, but finally a little sprout. As the bag is already almost full, I'm just going to add up a bit of compost on top, and yeah, that'll be it for today. I'm just in the greenhouse and we've got 2 dragon fruit slips that I have been gifted and very carefully looking after, and I've just realized I don't think I've given them any compost either, so I'm going to just give them a light covering and hopefully that helps them. Never grown dragon fruit before, but I'm a bit excited. This is a new shoot, which is awesome. And then I noticed on the other one there's a new one coming just on the tip, so fantastic. It's on our to-do list, and that is to actually get a trellis made up for them, one that's very strong. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. Good morning. So our one-day gardening chores has now turned into 2 because it did start raining yesterday and it's actually currently drizzling. We've just had a little mini shower, I guess, and we're going to just continue because we've still got lots to do. After the rain this morning, I just thought I'd do a little walk around the veggie garden, and I noticed that my broccoli is starting to flower. It was not the best variety. I cannot remember which one it was, but instead of making one big head, it made all these little side shoots instead. So I'm actually going to pull it out today. So I'm bringing in a bit of extra muscle because these broccoli stems are really thick. This one's been in the ground for quite a while, so it's probably getting a bit old anyway. Yeah. Oh, and just like that, the sun's out. But look at the size of this. I've never grown broccoli before, but I have never seen anything like this. I was not expecting this stem, I guess, to be so thick, and this is heavy. So one of the big jobs this morning is to actually do a bit of a tidy up in our front yard and clean up all the palm fronds from our golden cane palms. We really do like them, but they are becoming a bit of a nuisance, so we will be looking in the future at perhaps pulling them out and thinking about something else. So luckily the palms are actually in the shade currently, so that makes the job a little easier. The only annoying thing is we have to take all the fronds right to the end of our property, so lots of walking. One of the annoying things I find about these palm fronds is they're absolutely useless from what I can tell. You can't really do much with them other than burn them, and they burn really hot and really quickly. So if you guys have any ideas on how to best use them, please let us know. While I run the first load down to the bottom, Sven is busy raking up underneath the other side. Like, see how this one is quite thin?
Yeah.
Kind of to that extent. I never got past here because that's when I got stung.
Do you want to chop fat ones or thin ones? What we've decided is we're going to thin some of these out. Candace is going to go around with a marker and just mark the ones she wants cut out, and then I'm going to go around and saw them down.
This one never got done last time, so we're going to have to do quite a bit.
I wonder what lives in those.
For you.
Yep.
Woohoo! It works! Looks a bit funny, but hey, it gets the job done. So it's really just 1, 2, 3, and obviously that very first one, so 4 that we need to still tackle, but it's looking so much better. So all of that still looks like a bit of a mess, but there's not too much we can do about it, but it just thins them out completely and avoids this mess. Now I just disturbed a massive spider in here, and it has made me super anxious to go back in there. We do live in a country where sometimes it feels like everything wants to kill you. So not being very knowledgeable on what sort of spider that was. I've never seen one like that before. I'm a bit nervous, so I might continue with those two while it's just drizzling and not absolutely pouring at the moment. Okay guys, the weather is turning. It's getting a bit miserable out here. It's not so much the rain now, it's also just the wind. If you're wondering why we've been making such a big mad rush today trying to get most of this done, number one, the weather, but the biggest factor is we both work full-time, so the weekends is honestly the only time we get to do any of this kind of major work. You know, I putt around the garden in the afternoons, you know, the veggies and what have you, but we don't have the daylight hours after work to get this kind of stuff done. So yeah, sadly it is what it is. But anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed just a small glimpse of what our weekends look like when we are homebound and very much stuck into garden chores. Thank you so much for following along our journey as we start revitalizing this property. Anyway, there comes the rain guys, so I'll see you on the next one.